Hi, welcome to my next video on architecture and design. We are going to see the artificial intelligence series, and this is going to be the part 1. As part of part 1, what we are going to see is the key differences between GenAI, Copilot and ChatGPT. Basically in this session, we are going to see which one we should have to use with a clear examples for every case. Most part of the time, today we will be spending time on Gen AI related stuff. Let's get started. So the key difference between Gen AI and Copilot along with ChatGPT, let's see it as part of this slide. Gen AI is an umbrella term covering AI models that generate content. The content can be either text, image, or music, or even code. This Gen AI on learning, it continuously improve with the newer models, but it does not learn from the user inputs directly. We will see why and what are the benefits for the end user in the successive slide. So from coding to design to testing as well as in DevOps, Gen AI powered tools are reshaping how the developers need to work for the future. Gen AI, when you need visuals, you can start using Gen AI. You can create content or structural template, say for example, architectural diagrams, or it can be a documentation or test case template, or even infrastructure as a code, IAC scripts. These are the things that you can do using Gen AI. On Copilot, usually we call them as GitHub Copilot. It is a specialized AI tool focused on coding assistance with integrated development environment or IDEs. Usually, the GitHub Copilot, when you are actively coding, you may get real-time suggestions for the functions or the program that you are working on. It may be an auto-completion suggestion, or it can provide you small refactoring suggestions when you are working with code. So that's the benefit of using GitHub Copilot. The next one, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a conversational AI designed for broader text-based interaction, including coding help. Quite recently, ChatGPT improved its version so that you can generate images also. You can use ChatGPT when you need explanations for any particular topic, or you can use and generate content for brainstorming. You can submit a piece of the code and then do troubleshooting, or get the error code and error description information using which you can troubleshoot your code. It can also be used for generating structural content like any application programming interface specifications or API specs, or it can be used for generation of test scripts. So these are the three major differences between GenAI, GitHub Copilot, and ChatGPT. If you see them, their usage is more or less related to each other, but specialized on any particular area. Say for example, GenAI is an umbrella term that covers both Copilot as well as ChatGPT. However, if you take GitHub Copilot, it is mainly for coding. If you take ChatGPT, it can be used for coding as well as documentation and also for creating content for brainstorming. So that makes a difference between these three. In this session, let's concentrate only on GenAI from next slide onwards and see what are the use cases which are all specific to GenAI. And that's what we are going to see in today's session. So if you take GenAI, it continuously improves with the newer model, but it does not learn from user inputs directly. That's what I said in the previous slide. That is, from the user input, it will not update its model. And so the user input data is not saved anywhere or not used anywhere. So your input to GenAI is very safe. I said it can assist in documentation, something like generation of UI UX design and in generation of any requirement content. Say for example, it can assist in preparing documentation for any topic. Let's see, if you want to get to know about what is neural network or what happens to a particular climate change or what is a chemical equation complexity or what is an atomic number for a particular element, all you can get it using GenAI. It can help requirement generation and also generate structured documentation automatically. Say for example, if you are building an e-commerce site, you can provide valuable input something like, I want a structured requirement documentation which covers the following features. Number one, a user login, a web page whereupon the products are listed, a web page where the user can add the products into a shopping cart, checkout shopping cart, payment page, and then order tracking page. If you provide these as a bulleted information, GenAI AI can generate structured documentation automatically and it can be tweaked based upon the user needs. It can also generate system architecture diagrams and UML diagrams, and it provide code snippets that you can use it directly for plant UML or mermaid JS. So this will ease the process of the architects or designer to generate system architecture diagram for any programming need. Finally, you can use GenAI to create a full-fledged API documentation that can be consumed for reference purpose for the developers and designers. So these are some of the use cases related to GenAI. Let's see some more. In the next slide, if you're seeing, GenAI it is a best software development landscape for the programmers, designers, developers, and many people by enhancing efficiency, productivity, and code quality. From intelligent code automation to boilerplate generation, GenAI assists developers at every stage of coding process. In code development and assistance, some GenAI tools helps in coding, code auto-completion. GenAI can also be used for boilerplate code generation or template code generation. In some cases, it is a fully functional code generation. Next we can use GenAI to refactor the code. In such scenario, it can suggest what are the improvements that can apply to them directly. That's the third use case listed over here. The fourth one and most important one, we can use GenAI for writing config files like YAML or JSON or XML. If you provide a right info, what can go as part of the configuration information. So it will generate a structured configuration file that can be directly used for building applications or programs. Next come, it finds bugs and suggests solution. Some Gen AI model can highlight the errors directly and also provide multiple options to sort out them. And next come, it can optimize the code. Two developers write the code in the same fashion. So if you want to highlight a particular portion of the code which is having performance issue, you can submit it to GenAI and it will provide a lot of suggestion in terms of better structure, and thereby you can achieve best optimization in your code. And last but not least, it helps in performance improvement. Say for example, SQL queries can be optimized with the help of GenAI instead of doing it manually. And you can submit a portion of the structured query language. It can provide various suggestions on how to improve them. While submitting such queries, you also need to provide under what scenario the SQL is considered. Thereby, it can provide an optimized solution for the developers. And let's see some more examples or use cases with respect to GenAI. GenAI helps in generation of unit test cases. It can generate test cases based upon function descriptions. It can also used for writing efficient test cases and generate detailed test automation scripts. For testing purposes, you can use GenAI to prepare mock or test data for testing. And within a matter of few seconds or minutes, you can prepare large volume of test data that can be readily used for testing purpose. You can use GenAI to generate efficient CI/CD pipeline scripts. Writing CI/CD pipelines for Jenkins GitHub Actions are very easy if you are going for GenAI. In the area of automation, mainly using Bash or PowerShell or Python, GenAI can be used to generate automation scripts. It also helps in learning new programming languages by providing structural lessons to the users. And it can also be used for various other programming purposes. Say for example, if you are using Terraform, infrastructure as a code can be easily generated using GenAI. And it can automate the scripts by going through the code structure, whatever submitted it to them, and provide best suggestions to the end users. So these are some of the popular use cases with respect to GenAI. In the successive video, let's see more about Copilot as well as on ChatGPT. Let us learn them in the next session. Till then, thank you very much, and I hope this video is helpful to you. Have a nice day and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Bye.